Good morning, everybody. I'm cleaning up my kitchen. I woke up and I just made some coffee. And I'm cleaning up. So grab yourself a cup of cuppa. What we're discussing in this video is how when you settle into the mindset that your life as a solo person is something as an opportunity that you should love, or just over the top love it, because you have to look at the upside. Now, the upside I have with being on my own is that I have deeper and better sleep and dreams. For the obvious reason, there's nobody else there. Yeah, I don't get the whole concept of sleeping with somebody. And I suppose if there was a true, loving, supportive relationship between a man and a woman, that would be the only reason why you would share the same room even. Like, why even share the same room? You have to have your own space. I don't understand that whole concept. And it's because I've not had a close relationship. For all different reasons. For those who don't know, I've had 3 very intimate partners. I've been a serial monogamist. Monogamist. Do 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 do. Mana do 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 do. Mana do 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 do. Good morning. Harsh lighting, and this is me. I could make it less. That's a little bit softer. I'm still very pale and white. I don't have my beauty lights on. And now you can see everything. I have a very small space, which brings me to what I was going to tell you. When you recognize that you really have to fill your life with interesting things, because there's nobody else there filling it up. And a lot of that partnership is actually occupying your time with that person. And that person doesn't exist, and we're not bemoaning it. Those of us who have been escapees. Here's to the escapees of narcissistic abuse. It's terrible. And if you don't know what it is, don't worry about it. Count your blessings. Say, awesome. Oh my God. If you've ever been treated cruelly by somebody and ditched, you dodged the bullet. You should never be treated cruelly by a man ever. Ever. Especially when you offer them your love. Especially when you've offered them your body and your life. But these schmucks, my theory is there aren't enough good men to go around. And therefore, we single women have no other choice but to accept polygamy or fly solo. And so when you fly solo, you do have to fill your time up. You have to occupy it with something, because your energy went into that person. And if it was a narcissist, not only did your energy go into that person, your energy was depleted by that person. And so now in this state, you're in between, you go, whoa, I have all this energy for myself. See, that's the real interesting part about this crash landing, if you will. You've been in all that turbulence, you know, and then you land, you finally land, meaning you're away from that narcissist forever. They're just not in your life. And I had 3 of them in a row because I was a child of a narcissist, meaning it wasn't recognizable. I didn't recognize it as abuse until I finally realized I was trying so hard to be a good person to somebody who couldn't recognize love or accept love or see me or value me. And that's when I realized I was never seen, I was never valued by my family. The mother was instrumental. She's a pathological narcissist one. But it's like you get the idea you're invisible. And I was within the family structure. However, outside of it, amongst my peers and in school, I was recognized as exemplary and held up in high regard. And my athleticism and academic abilities, as well as my personality and my artistic skills, all in one ball of beautiful, bountiful me, was not recognized within the family. And so it never, even though outside of the family, within the structures I just told you, peers and whatnot, it never sunk in. So I was with always partners who didn't see it either. And I, on top of it all, okay, I was trained, get off your high horse, wipe that smirk off your face, take that chip off your shoulder. What are you so uppity about? Get down off your high horse. I said that one, it's worth repeating. Because I really liked the whole idea of a horse and a rocking horse and those spring horses. My mother got rid of the spring horse that was good for me up until I was going to be around 6 or 7 when I was 4. Because all the other kids were done with it. I wasn't done with it. And why? She wanted to feel good about it herself. Charity did not begin at home. So that was the other thing, the narcissistic family. Everybody but the family gets the good stuff. So, yeah, I diversed and redirected and went because it is the morning time and I am having coffee. And I'm talking about cleaning up. And I'm talking about how you have to create hobbies. You have to have things of interest. So, let me show you one of mine. I told you all about my German cutlery. And all of it was because my bread knife was stolen by the ex and my cutting boards. So I had to go procure some new ones. No crying over spilt milk, I'll tell you. Just go get some more milk. So this is what I'm going to do. It's sprouting seeds. And I got this little tray because the jar method sucked. I tried it and it's stupid. This keeps it perfect. And it's called Trellis and Company. And all you have to do is put water in the tray. So filtered, of course, with no fluoride. And then if you do have fluoride, you just put a little borax in there and it neutralizes the fluoride. You can sing over it, chant over it, put it, do a ceremony if you want. Whatever it takes for you to feel good about the water in your sprout container. And then you add the seeds per direction. And I'm going to do that. So here's day 1. Trellis and Company. Join along in the fun. I may have got it at another company's website, but I'm sure you'll find it. Let's see if I can find any other information. Oh, these are old. But okay, check bulk prices at handypantry.com. Handy Pantry. Gosh, I could use a handyman. That's the thing you miss about not having a man around. But when I look back at it, the only man that knew how to really fix things was my children's father. Yeah, he knew how to fix things. The second one, not so much. But they all act like it. They all try their best. So I go, okay, I'll fake it till I make it. So that's what I've been doing. So, okay, the sprouts, that's easy. That's something we all can do. But I do need the handyman for things like replacing a kitchen faucet, replacing switches because my overheads don't work. I created my own lighting system up there. I did that. Okay. Okay, about my hobbies. So over in that corner over there, I have my calendar and I have my thinking area and I have my magazines and my dictionary because I love words. And that's one of the other things we're going to do. We're going to make sure we keep our vocabulary up. Speaking of which, since I'm in the kitchen, I'm going to talk to you about this book I read recently, which had an excellent vocabulary in it. And it was a book written by a society woman. So she never had to worry about making money because money begets money. All she did was have to have money. And then her money was probably in a bank that lent out to people at usury. And then she ended up with her interests. So they live off of interest, these rich people. Oh, let's find it. Okay, it's called The Gastronomical Me. And the stories, nonetheless, even from her privileged point of view, are very, very good. And I just loved her writing. So I'm looking at some of the things that I thought about stories. Okay, stories are important and they're to be written down. And I have my own point of view. So when I've been in my books, I write about how my position in life, and it's from this invisible child point of view, went on to do what she did in her life to be where she is today. And so where I am today is, as an adult woman, alive still at the chronological years of 61, I go, I'm still learning, I'm still growing. I'm still yearning for love I know is probably impossible. And I have no other choice but to find life itself just a fun little hobby to like become fascinated by. Otherwise, it's just sad. That's why I'm also doing the art of kitsingi. We talked about that, which is piecing yourself back together again. And then delighting in the pieces. And when you put it back together with gold, and you put it back together with stories. So I'm grateful for the ability to love, to express love, to feel joy, to have that feeling in a healthy body. Our bodies are the drug. So these feelings can be felt, and they're expressed within the body like a trill. So we do that on purpose. Oh, and being solo is really just a scenic overlook, and it's a lovely opportunity. Because if you stop doing your life and you force the issue by going online and finding those online men, which we now know are scavengers and sexual predators for the most part, or helpless widowers who, if they're that helpless, who knows, maybe they're responsible for their wife's death. We don't know. And to go through that again, that trauma of going through the available men online after recovering from, for me speaking of which, a childhood of narcissistic abuse and then subsequent 3 relationships in a row, do you really think I'm ready to go back onto that carousel ride? No. It certainly is the divine comedy. But yeah, flying solo is really, it's a scenic overlook of your entire life. And it's a lovely opportunity to like enhance it. And that's what I liked about the book by M.F.K. Fisher, The Gastronomical Me. Because she talks about her travel methods and is always on these luxury liners, but she talks about the class differences, and sometimes she does choose to do second class to avoid the pretentiousness, but she can choose. And there's certain hotels that she talked about that I found beautiful, and a trout, it's trout au bleu. I'm sure I said that wrong. It's supposed to be French. A trout, not dead a minute, curls itself in agony in hot butter. Essentially is what it is. And then she goes to Malta, Switzerland, to the Gashauses Kreuz. And there's those words that she uses like taciturn, which is quiet, to be silent, not apt to speak, disinclined to talk. Taciturn, Taciturn. And then there's also tactful. And then you tack with a sailboat. So I'm thinking learning the conversational art again may be where Gen Z's next step is. Learning to actually have verbal conversations. Learning actually to use words, but to choose to be taciturn if you wish. Let me see if I can put some light on the subject. Yeah. And the shrimp is cote bouillon. They have shrimp in a bisque. I love this stuff. I almost said S-H-I-T. So, I have what is needed to bolster my own loneliness, a sense of strength. She wrote that, or I wrote that, when I was talking about solo. And it's also something that she may have shared as she was traveling by herself on a ship. And she talks about frog's legs Provençal, peaches Victoria, and she eats calmly and quietly with a special dignity. And she's alone, so she surrounds herself with a wall of awe. I just love that. I love it. Oh, and she's against anyone who's a complete defeatist. So I understand defeatism. People can feel defeated, and that's what this whole journey is all about, of being solo. Remember, it's a scenic overlook. It's an opportunity. It's a lovely opportunity, solo, for you to find out more about you and what makes you want to pop a cork and celebrate, Woohoo! So she has, and I'll leave off here, Pernods, P-E-R-N-O-D-S. It must be like an aperitif or something, or digestive, I don't know. But she calls it the perfect accompaniment to the artful foolery of the cinema. So movies, the artful foolery, which we all know about, because all the world's a stage and we put the actors, but why not make your life a lot more comedic and a lot less tragic? See you in the next round.